up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting with Power, Holiday Edition. It's the week of Thanksgiving here in America. Jordan, how are you doing? You excited to eat?
Yo, my God, yes.
All right. Are you excited for deals?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited for a little bit of time off, maybe?
Oh, my God. You're really hitting all my chords right now.
All right. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a fun week. I'm excited for it. How are you doing otherwise?
Pretty good. Everything you just named, I love the holiday season. I love that everybody has the jollies. So
yeah,
pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Have you been playing anything cool this week? Kirby Air Riders has launched today. I haven't had any time to play it yet, and I assume you probably haven't either.
No.
But what have you been up to?
What have I been up to this week? I've still been dabbling around in those older Pokemon that I told you about. I've been playing Heart Gold.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. But everything this week, I'm feeling like, if I'm remembering correctly, has been predominantly handheld for me on this end.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
It's been a light week for me, to be honest.
All right, that's okay.
Yeah.
I have been diving a bit more into Hyrule Warriors, which has been fun. I've progressed a little bit more since we last spoke, and I'm still liking it. Still engaged by it. Playing a good mix on TV and handheld. I don't think I really, when we talked about it last week, I don't think I really gave it the props it deserves for like how nice it feels.
Okay.
It's not necessarily my favorite gameplay and combat, but like it does look very nice and it runs very well. And I think that's great. I've been talking about it for months now. I did pick up Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on the Switch too. And it's been fun. I did one of like the alternate paths that you can do, like where you kind of mess with the story, and so like I did it where like Goku doesn't die when they kill Raditz and that.
Okay.
And I played through that. That's kind of all I've done so far. In game, it runs excellent. No real drops. It is a solid 30 frames per second, but it looks good and it crisp and all that. The menus are a little slow. Leave you wanting a little bit. That was the case though on console. Like the way they do kind of that like video menu.
Yeah.
I remember that not running super well even on a PS5. So that's not entirely the Switch's fault, but it is worse here. So it's like, okay. But yeah, anytime you're actually playing the game, it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Yeah, no, those video menus are involved.
Yeah. Well, and from what I understand, on the Switch 1 version of the game, they made that like a static thing. So on the Switch 1, the menu's like great. It's like flying all around, and because it's not trying to do all the stuff in the background.
Okay.
I don't know why all the other versions don't just do that, but because I don't need it. Every time you switch tabs, Goku's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, I tabbed one too far over. I need to go back. I'm trying to get to Whis.
God.
Yeah. So it is cool. And then the last thing that I'll mention here is I did play a little bit of the Kirby Air Riders test thing. I did not get to do that the first weekend because I was out of town. I did do it this past weekend. Just played a couple of maps, did a city trial online, and it's cool. I did purchase the game based on it. I think there's going to be a high skill ceiling to it. I'm going to have to really put in the time to get good at it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but it's cool. And the online stuff was fun. It was a relatively bare bones test, but yeah, I'm excited to dive into it. Yeah.
Question. Okay. So you've played Mario Kart World, which we can both agree it does take a certain level of skill.
Yeah.
How would you, based on what you've played, which is, we know not a ton, but what you've played, how do you think that skill set compares to something like Kirby Air Riders?
Well, for one, the first thing I would recommend doing, and I did this in the test, is I did all the tutorial stuff, because you're going to need to unlearn how you play Mario Kart. The whole you're not pushing forward thing that tilts the machine up and down. Like, you're going to have to the game will tell you. It's like, hey, you are pushing forward. Don't do that. Like, that's wrong. That's not helping you.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, so it'll take a little bit of unlearning and to kind of get into that mode. But I do think there's some translation. Like you're gonna have that natural sense of like, okay, I need to start drifting now. This is a good, lead times with your items, things like that. Like I think there's some translatable skill there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think once you get to city trial, then it's kind of all hell breaks loose and you're just gonna have to figure it out. But, awesome. But it is cool. So it's a nice little thing they did there. I want to mention too, off the top, that as of recording this, sales are starting aplenty, right? I kind of mentioned that with the Thanksgiving week, the Black Friday stuff. Seen a lot of retailers starting to post some interesting stuff. Nintendo has done their own cyber deals thing on the eShop. Now, apparently, this is separate from the thing we read last week. Oh, because I looked at the games here and they're completely different. What? So it sounds like those games I mentioned last week, which just stuff like Echoes of Wisdom, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Mario Odyssey, Switch Sports, Paper Mario. That stuff will all still go on sale in retailers, and I'm hoping on the eShop. I guess I had mentioned that they usually do that. Now I don't know. But in their cyber deals that are live right now, Paper Mario The Origami King is on sale. Endless Ocean, Famicom Detective Club, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and its DLC, Bayonetta 3, WarioWare Move It. And they're also doing like some physical sales in that on the Nintendo Online store. If you are trying to build up a physical collection, these are games that you really don't see too much of and don't see them go on sale. So just wanted to shout that out, but those are live. So
okay.
Yeah. Is there a game that you are awaiting a sale for that you're hoping to see in the next week go on sale?
I was actually thinking this to myself. I've been scavenging online to kind of figure out where my Black Friday dollars are going. And I don't know that there's a game on the Switch or really in general that I'm waiting to go on sale.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Or maybe I should say that I know will go on sale. That might be a better way to phrase it.
Yeah. Sometimes you're surprised and I mean, that's usually how they get me. It's an impulse thing. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. Yeah.
But there's nothing right now that I'm like, once this hits, I think more so often, like you just said, if something goes on sale and I'm like, oh, I'll play that again handheld, I'll just buy it. That's always how it happens.
Yeah. I have a feeling that by the time we record next, I will have Madden on the Switch. Because I have seen it now at $30. I have a $10 reward thing at Best Buy, so like for $20 I can play Madden for a couple weeks. Man.
Okay. I'm gonna ask.
So,
I'm gonna try to remember that.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I was looking at it today. I was like, I'll wait. I want to see what else starts going on sale, and maybe I won't have time to do that. I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm at. But let's knock out our housekeeping and then get into the proper show here. Mm-hmm. Podcasting with Power is an independent podcast made by the two of us, and your support goes a long way. You can watch PWP on YouTube or Spotify, or listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Wherever you are, we'd really appreciate if you would follow, like, comment on, or review the show. You can also keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and more at Pod with Power. We'll post show updates, clips, and anything else we think you might find interesting. So check that out and help support the show. Jordan, I have 5 Nintendo news stories for you this week.
All right.
There's some fun ones here. One that makes me mad, but we'll get to that in due time. Story number 1. The Game Awards 2025 nominees have been announced. This roundup is by us because I just looked at the website and put it together. The Game Awards 2025 is imminent, taking place in LA on December 11th. As such, nominees have been announced with online voting available on the Game Awards website. Some key Nintendo and Switch software nominations include Hades 2 and Hollow Knight Silksong for Best Art Direction, Hollow Knight Silksong, music by Christopher Larkin, and Hades 2, music by Darren Korb for Best Score and Music, Absalom, Ball X Pit, Hades 2 and Hollow Knight Silksong for Best Independent Game, Hades 2 and Shinobi Art of Vengeance for Best Action Game, Hollow Knight Silksong, seeing a pattern here, and Split Fiction for Best Action Adventure Game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and Split Fiction for Best Family Game. That's a Switch sweep, the entire category on Switch. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, and 2 Point Museum for Best Sim/Strategy Game. And EA Sports FC26, Mario Kart World, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds for Best Sports/Racing Game. Additionally, 3 Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games have received nominations for Game of the Year. The full list is as follows. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which is not on Switch. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, also not on Switch. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which again, not on Switch. So I obviously focused on the Nintendo side of this, but have you had a chance to look at the nominees here?
I'm perusing through them right now.
Sure.
And I think before I really get to it, I'm curious what you think about it, to be honest.
Well, so I want to start with the big one, with the Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I think this, just kind of paying attention to the discourse and the games people have been talking about all year long, I think these 6 make sense. I'm going to tell you right now, I think Clair Obscur is going to win the whole thing. It's just been everywhere all year. That's, I need to play it, but
I mean, do you think Donkey Kong Bonanza stands a chance?
I am glad it's here, and I think it deserves to be here.
Yeah.
But I don't see it winning.
No, I don't either. I really liked it, and I think that, like you, I'm glad it's there, but at the same time, I just don't think it stands up to Game of the Year material.
I like I said, I think Expedition 33 is maybe the clear winner. The only other one I think that wouldn't be a shock to me would be Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah.
Because that also kind of grabbed everybody's attention when that came out. I know Kingdom Come Deliverance has its audience. The only one here that I thought was, it's not strange that it's here. I feel like it's maybe not on the same level talk-wise, has been Hades 2. Mm-hmm. And that's maybe because it's the whole, it wasn't early access and now it's out. So it's like people have already talked on it.
Yeah.
But I think that could have just as easily have been Monster Hunter Wilds or Split Fiction or, something like that. It could have, that spot I think could have gone a number of ways.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Yeah. So we'll see. I just, you're right. Donkey Kong Bonanza probably won't have the stuff to make it, but they do a cool thing right before the Game of the Year award is given, where they do a medley of music from the 6 games. So that means we're going to get some Donkey Kong Bonanza music in that medley, and that's cool.
I do like that. I do like that a lot. I already know what they're going to do too.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. Obviously a lot of nominations for Hades 2 and Hollow Knight in particular. That's cool to see. It's hard because, like, so I did my voting and stuff, and on Best Sports Racing Game, truthfully, the only one I had played was Mario Kart World. But I was like, I feel like I can't vote for this.
No?
Because I don't yet. I mean, I liked it, but like, I think I did vote for that one. But there were some, I know for a fact with like Sim strategy game, I played Civilization 7. I didn't care for it.
No.
So I did. I left that one blank. I'm like, I'm not rocking for this game that I don't like. There's probably better options here.
I mean, I know people like that game, but every time I see people playing that game, I'm like, what are we doing?
This one just, I thought it was janky, and it's never really been my thing, but I thought I'd try it.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the best family game category, which is typically referred to as the Nintendo category, because that's usually where those games end up? I mentioned that all 6 entries are on Switch. What would be your pick here? Because, like, my favorite game of the bunch is Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Is
that the best family game? Is that the best thing to play with your family?
No, I mean, what? Because you get that sidekick. You're just telling them what is it? You point the Joy-Con at the screen and it tells you like what material it was. I can't remember what the second player.
Yeah, it's not much. There is a little co-op mode. You're right.
Yeah. So I mean, family game. Like, I guess I'm sitting here breaking down what I think a family game is. I would assume it's a game you could play with your family, not like a game you're going to make
Yeah.
your family sit down and watch you play.
Watch me play Donkey Kong, son.
I have to say it wouldn't be Donkey Kong. I would have to pick Mario Kart World or the Sonic Racing Crossworlds, but I haven't played. Have you played Sonic Racing?
I haven't yet. That might be a library pickup on the Switch too.
I'd like to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see what's going on.
I'll rock for Split Fiction though. That's an excellent co-op game.
Well, Split. Oh man, I mean, that's a game that I have on my docket right now. That's a game Amanda and I would like to play.
Yeah, I think you two will love it.
Yeah.
Lego Voyagers, I think, kind of in the same vein. That kind of 2-player co-op adventure.
I mean, and if you're really gonna, because like Mario Kart, obviously, those 2 racing games, obviously, you can play with your family. Split Fiction, isn't that 2 people though playing that game?
It is. You're right. It's just 2.
So I think it would have to be either Lego Party or one of those racing games. I would have to imagine.
Yeah. That's always a weird category for me. You're right. I never really know how I'm supposed to be defining this, because would I love to vote for Donkey Kong again? Of course I would, but maybe not there. So we'll obviously follow this. The Game Awards is usually a fun watch anyway, just to see who wins, and then of course we get a lot of cool announcements. Do you think Nintendo has done stuff in the past with TGA and Jeff Keighley? Do you think we'll get a Nintendo announcement, a big Nintendo announcement at this thing?
I wish I felt that way, and I don't.
I feel like for a long time, it just hasn't happened. Like Breath of the Wild had a big thing there, and the DLC and that stuff.
Yeah,
when that came around, but I feel like we haven't really had one in years.
No, it's always like, it feels like the announcements are always somewhere else at that. I never expect a whole lot of Nintendo at those. Like you said, maybe some DLC, maybe something there. And I bet you if you do get anything, it's going to be, I don't know why, I just feel like it's going to be related to Animal Crossing or something. I think I just have PTSD from like Animal 2020 or something. But
sure.
That's what it'll be. I don't know.
You're right. And I mean, that's only about a month before Animal Crossing comes out. So that could be a good time to get some news out there. And I could maybe see some Mario Kart DLC. That feels like it would be an appropriate place if they wanted to do that. But I don't know.
I wonder what they do for that. Like, I'm just so curious. I don't know.
Knowing Nintendo, it could be any number of things.
Yeah.
It could be nothing. It probably is nothing.
Take me to DK Island.
And then in 8 years, it'll be a ton.
Let's race on DK Island. Take me there.
Yeah. They can't sell me DK Island again. Okay. I just bought it in Bonanza.
Yeah.
It was a disappointment. I can't be bothered to buy that.
You don't want to go collect anything for a trophy or something?
Yeah. A ton of emeralds over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, we'll follow that and we'll keep y'all posted out there. Story number 2. Roundup. The final previews are in for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is by Jim Norman at Nintendo Life. Believe it or not, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is almost upon us. Yay! That December 4th release date is morphballing ever closer, and today we've got our latest round of hands-on previews to give us a taste of what we can expect. Nintendo Life's video producer, Alex Olney, was lucky enough to attend an extended preview event for Samus's latest adventure, and it sounds like he had a jolly good time. In the preview, Alex sings the praises of the game's fun new psychic abilities and gorgeous environments, though one of the new galactic troopers firmly got on his nerves. Here's a snippet from the full hands-on. One of the biggest and most important parts of the Prime series, and the Metroid series as a whole, is the feeling of isolation, loneliness, and that you're being forced to fight against the environment that doesn't want you there to begin with. That notion is entirely destroyed once you introduce a character that blathers away at you incessantly, and it'll be a crying shame if this is something that is present throughout the full game's runtime. But Mr. Olney wasn't the only one to share his preliminary thoughts on the game today, quite the opposite, in fact. Other outlets have also had the chance to play through an early section of the game, and we've assembled the following roundup to see what a selection of them made of it. We'll kick things off with Eurogamer, where the outlet's preview mirrored many of the same concerns as ours. The game looks pretty and plays wonderfully, but gosh, that trooper is annoying. Quote, I enjoyed the puzzles, the shooting, and very much appreciated the game's control options and visual flair. A huge amount of trepidation about Metroid's usually glorious atmosphere being wrecked now runs through that anticipation, though, like lettering through a stick of seaside rock. Things went much the same way in IGN's preview too, where the gorgeous environments and classic puzzles were overshadowed by a chatty companion. Quote, classic Metroid Prime exploration and combat, and intriguing setup, gorgeous art direction, and great technical performance on Switch 2 are coming together to create an adventure that likely won't redefine Metroid in any meaningful way or live up to the unrealistic hype built up by nearly a decade of waiting, but one that could serve as a great return for a subseries that hasn't seen a new mainline entry in 18 years, as long as annoying sidekicks don't keep getting in Samus's way. VGC's worries about these features ran even deeper, with the outlet's preview cautiously warning that the opening section, quote, didn't feel much like Metroid at all. What Metroid Prime 4 is seemingly trying to be is a far less interesting and more dated type of first-person action game with none of the mood the series is known for. There's more quotes like this, but I'm gonna stop us here. Man, so I knew that they were flying people out for this Metroid event, and I was very eager to see what people had to say about it. And there was just this one through line every single thing I looked at, and that was this one particular NPC who just doesn't shut up. And that's not what I want. I don't think that's what anybody wants. Why are they doing this to me, Jordan?
I don't know, but I feel so bad because this seems very bleak.
I have to hope that the hopium that I'm hanging on to right now is that this motherfucker gets killed early on. Like, he's just there to kind of set a tone, and then boom, we're gonna ice this guy, and he's gone, and now it's like the real game begins.
Man,
that's what I hope.
I hope so. You'd think oh God, I can't talk. You'd think Nintendo would learn from annoying sidekicks. You know what I mean? I feel like that's such a Nintendo cliche at this point. But
something they've gotten a lot better about over the years.
They have gotten a lot better.
Recently, it's been better.
It's just the atmospheric stuff. It's that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they played the beginning of the game. We haven't really seen this guy in trailers. I have to hold on to the fact that he's not going to be around the whole time. So we'll see. Just a couple weeks away. I mean, by the next time we record, I believe, because we're gonna pre-record the next one for Thanksgiving. I think we'll have it in our hands. It'll be here upon us. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how bad it is. Story number 3. Nintendo issues first official The Legend of Zelda movie photos showing Link and Zelda in costume. This is by Tom Phillips at IGN. Nintendo has just released the first set photos showing the Legend of Zelda live-action movie stars in action. The images, posted to the Nintendo Today app, are a first official glimpse at Bo Bragason playing Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth playing Link in costume, and come as Nintendo itself officially marks the start of production. Nintendo's confirmation comes days after it was first reported that filming had begun in New Zealand, and shortly after fans discovered the project's shooting location. Over the weekend, unofficial videos shared on social media featured an earlier glimpse at Bragason, Ainsworth, and a third actor in the midst of a forest scene. Following that first set leak, fans now believe Severance star Daikin Lockman, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, has been cast as Zelda's trusty aide Impa, though there's no official confirmation of that today. For now, these photos show that the movie's incarnation of Zelda is wearing blue robes similar in color to her Breath of the Wild attire. Ainsworth's version of Link, meanwhile, looks very similar to the hero's look in Twilight Princess, where he sports a dark green tunic. And then I guess here's the quote in the post as well. Miyamoto, of course, began it, as he always does, with "This is Miyamoto." Filming is underway for the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda in a lush, natural setting with Bo Bragason-san, who will play Zelda, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth-san, who will play Link. Filming is on track for the film's release on May 7th, 2027. It will take a while until the release, so we would be grateful if you would wait patiently and look forward to it. Basically saying, stop leaking our shit. I have the photos here for you. Mm-hmm. I'll have them on screen for our video viewers. Mm-hmm. I have been waiting I want to know. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
So I've seen these and I've loved it. It's very fun to see. I'm so glad we've gotten some kind of visual. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna click on this link here and look at these again. Yeah, it's really great to see because I cannot go like I need to see consistent leaks. I'm gonna need it. You know, I want to know what to expect over the next coming months here. But the first time I did see them, though, I'm just wondering to myself, like, where are we going with the story? I wonder, because you're right. Like, we see the Breath of the Wild kind of theme. We see a little bit of the Twilight Princess looking theme. Like, what are we doing with the story? I wonder. You know, like, because if we start to see more characters show up, or like what we can kind of decipher the characters to be, that's going to be very interesting if we can see that. You know what I mean? And I noticed in one of the behind the scenes photos, I can't remember her name. The woman who played in Severance is there.
Yeah.
Miss Casey.
So, and I didn't recognize her. I haven't watched that show. But I did see that leak, and I unfortunately don't have that photo here for you, but I'll find it for the podcast when we put it up. And yeah, my first thought was, well, that must be Impa, right?
Yeah.
The silver hair and the kind of royal, almost knight-like outfit. And so, you know, the story they seem to feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I don't think there's a clear picture yet on what kind of flavor of Legend of Zelda we're getting here. But I do like the vibe from what we've seen.
I do too. I just I accidentally saw this trailer that was definitely fake. Thank God.
Okay.
Some fan put together like this realistic, like somebody was fooling everybody on the internet for a minute. They were like, leaked trailer, blah blah blah, first whatever. Sure. So I opened it and watched it, kind of believing at first that maybe I was seeing something that was official, and it was so bad, man. Like, somebody was doing voiceovers, and I was like, no way, like, this cannot be. And for a moment I was like, this is ruined for me, this is gonna be awful. And then I realized that it was just something somebody put together, and I was like, oh my God, thank God. Like, I almost just had my soul crushed by this fake trailer. It was so cheesy. Yeah. But I have to say, though, seeing that like raised the tension to me, or that urgency.
You realized how much you cared about it.
Yeah, because now I'm like, please don't mess this up. You know, like, please just keep this thing on the rails. I want so badly. You know, I've wanted this for so long, because it's finally our chance to share the love for Zelda for people who don't play games, and to show the depth of that world. And I just need this to be good so bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know, you know, you're seeing some people already going, well, you know, when Zelda looks like that and Link looks like that, those two paths don't cross. Like you said, we don't really know kind of what they're drawing inspiration from. That doesn't bother me. Obviously, the Mario movie grabbed things from all over, and the Galaxy movie seems to be doing the same thing, and that, I think, worked. So I think this is cool. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Link talking?
I think he's got to.
I think so too.
I don't think you can do a contemporary movie and not have him speak.
It'd be weird. It'd be super weird if they did that, and borderline cheesy, I think, if they did that.
Yeah, I think there's a level of that you can get away with. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in certain settings, you know, if we have Link in a temple or a dungeon on his own, obviously we don't need a lot of dialogue from him. And you can let characters like Zelda and Impa kind of give you the exposition. Mm-hmm. You can make that work, but I don't want it to be a clear thing we're trying to work around.
Right.
Where it's like very evident that like this character would be speaking right now.
That's all people keep asking me, because they're like, well, how does he feel about this? And I know we've talked about this too, but I wanted to ask you directly, because people just keep hounding me with it. I'm like, truthfully, like, they got to do it. It's a film.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away with it. Yeah. Again, going back to Mario, you know, Mario doesn't talk a lot. You know, he's got his little words and catchphrases, but you know, the movie, he spoke like a normal person, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Story number 4. Here's a quick one. Switch port specialist Panic Button reveals it helped upgrade multiple first-party games for Switch 2. This is by Liam Doolin at Nintendo Life. Video game studio Panic Button has revealed it was selected by Nintendo to help update marquee Switch titles for Switch 2. The talented team confirmed this in an official announcement on social media this week. Nintendo asked the studio to, quote, help demonstrate new capabilities of the Nintendo Switch 2 system while remaining faithful to the original versions of each title. The titles Panic Button helped release updates for include New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World, and Bowser's Fury, and ARMS. These upgrades include visual and frame improvements, HDR support, and various Switch 2 features. These were all free upgrades, with multiple other first-party Switch titles receiving similar Switch 2 launch updates. Panic Button worked wonders during the Switch generation, porting titles such as Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein 2, Warframe, and Rocket League. So it's nice to see those efforts did not go unnoticed. And if you look on the Panic Button's website now, these games are all over. They want you to know, like, hey, we worked on Mario Odyssey, hire us. I thought this story was just interesting, that Nintendo outsourced at least some of these updates. Not all of them. Who knows who did the ones for the Zeldas or, Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. But I'm hoping they do more of them, especially if it is an external team.
Yeah.
You're not taking resources off of, new games.
Right.
By all means, keep these guys, keep them working, keep them employed.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Give me more games. Yeah. Switch 2.
Doesn't it feel like a very not Nintendo move to take a game like Mario Odyssey and go, okay,
yeah, we're
gonna let you have this one,
Yeah, it feels like we're in a new era of Nintendo. They're like, we're too busy. Go ahead, that's fine.
Yeah,
get these ready.
Like ARMS, you can let somebody do ARMS.
Yeah, they gave the intern probably ARMS.
Yeah, but no, the other three are big Mario titles.
Yeah,
big selling. Yeah, so that's interesting. I just wanted to include that in there. Story number 5: Kirby Air Riders review Roundup. As always, we're just going to look to Open Critic here, see how this game is doing on the review circuit. Kirby Air Riders is currently sitting at an 80 critic average. Not bad at all. Much better than the original game. A couple of excerpts. First one here from IGN. We've got Logan Plant, who gave it an 8 out of 10, and says, Kirby Air Riders' unconventional controls can get in its own way sometimes, but they don't stop it from being a fun, frantic action racing game with an almost unreal amount of stuff to do. Which is good to hear. Let's take from Eurogamer. Alex Donaldson gave it a 4 out of 5. While racing is at its core, Kirby Air Riders channels the chaotic energy of Smash Bros. To deliver a deceptively deep one-button gameplay experience, and tops it with absolutely oodles of things to do, see, and unlock. So, I think leading up to this game, one of the concerns was, is this game going to be worth $70?
Yeah.
And it sounds, just for those two excerpts and other reviews that we've looked at, that there is plenty to do. Does this kind of make you feel like this is worth your time?
I think so. Okay. Much more than I thought, especially with your opinion on, that skill level of playing that you might want to bring to the table.
Sure.
Like, that is hopeful for me. I think that I really enjoyed Mario Kart World and all the different dynamic that they brought to that game. So to hear that Kirby Air Riders, which honestly the original didn't feel like that same kind of open out of the box feel.
Sure.
Knowing if they're making this more dynamic, then I'm a little bit more interested. I think I'll probably make a last minute decision, honestly, closer to launch, but
sure. Yeah, it feels like that original game was kind of an experiment. Yeah. And that Zachary really sat down and put a lot of thought into, like, okay, how do I make this fun? How do I make this modern? And it seems like he kind of nailed it. So that's cool. Let's do a little bit of out this week. Starting off, this is out now. We got a shadow drop of Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for Switch 1 and 2 the other day. That's just out and about. It's got a little small discount for launch. Seems like it runs okay. I was watching some Switch 1 footage of it earlier. I played that back on like the 360, and it's fun. It's kind of an Uncharted
Yeah.
I have not played the other games in the trilogy, but that's cool. But looking ahead, on November 25th, we've got Wizard of Legend 2 on the Switch 1. We also have Glory Hunters on the Switch 1. On November 26th, we have Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons on Switch 1. Which is funny. I feel like we just talked about a Bubble Bobble.
We did.
A couple of weeks ago.
We did indeed.
And then again, they just kind of dropped this news in the middle of the week here. On November 27th, we are getting Picross S Capcom Classics Edition and Picross S SNK Classics and Neo Geo Edition. I love me some Picross, and I'm in the middle of the Sega one right now. That's the one I've been working at.
Oh man,
it's just one I kind of pick up and play every now and then.
That feels like
but Capcom is
Sudoku
cool.
of games to me.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, yeah, it's got that same energy. I don't really have the nostalgia and legacy with SNK and Neo Geo, but I will absolutely be all over the Capcom one.
Okay.
Why don't we get to the reason we are here today? And that is our topic for the episode. We want to give you guys out there a holiday gift guide, a Nintendo holiday gift guide. If you have a Nintendo fan in your life and you're like, what do I get them? Because I think the thing, and I'm curious if you run into this, people don't ever want to buy me games, right?
Yeah.
For as gifts, because I think they kind of know if I'm interested in it, I probably have it or have played it or have found a way to do that. And I think they're afraid to pick wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it'd be a good idea for us to, kind of give some insight as Nintendo fans ourselves. Like what are the things that we look at, and what would we give to other Nintendo fans? So we can kind of jump all over the board here. I did want to start because I didn't put too many games themselves on the list, like I just said, but I did highlight a couple of physical games that I think kind of have some extra things that make them a particularly good gift, in my opinion.
Okay.
So the three I highlighted here are right off the bat, Cyberpunk 2077 for the Switch 2.
Nice.
Comes with all these cool little goodies inside. I think it's got a map in there. I think, like The Witcher 3, it is a very good physical edition if you have someone who collects those in your life. You have played Cyberpunk on other platforms and have enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Hades 2, which actually just came out, I think, today as we're recording this, physical. Same kind of thing, has some like a reversible, like holographic like jacket, and it's got some cool collectibles on the inside for you. That edition does have both the Switch 1 and 2 game on it on the same cartridge. And then the last one was Atari 50, the Anniversary Celebration Expanded Edition Steelbook, which you can get. I think I saw it on sale at Best Buy, things like that. And that's the same thing. You just have some cool, it's got some like little old Atari like business cards in there. It's got some, things like that.
That's fun.
And it comes in a cool bright yellow steelbook.
Love a steelbook.
Did you happen to have any games on your list like that?
Honestly, I didn't have any physical games.
Sure.
Well, I had Portal on my list, the Portal collection.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was a fun one to throw on there. We were just talking about Portal being on, some of our 10 games to get to know us. And, we're both huge fans of the series. So I think that's always a really good one to throw on a list for the holidays, because it always gets marked down. There's always a sale going on for it. So I would recommend that to anybody who hasn't played. I think it's great to have it on the Switch too.
I don't put it lightly, but I am of the opinion that you have either played Portal, or you either love Portal, or you have not played Portal.
Yeah,
it's one of them.
That way. It has.
Yeah, it's just so interesting, and but okay, then other than that, outside of games themselves, I'll kind of give you the spotlight here. Where do you want to start?
Oh, do you want to kind of just alternate back and forth?
Sure.
Go for one of those. So I also kind of jumped around the board. I've got accessories on here. I've got some collectible kind of stuff on here.
Okay.
But I think the place to start is maybe something, for me personally, if you're gifting me something and it's not because you're not certain on what game I might want. You want to get me something that I'd enjoy though.
Right.
I feel like controllers and different accessories like that can sometimes be insanely helpful, because even if you're not a huge fan of the controller, it's always nice to have an extra for when you have people over.
Yeah.
So the first kind of accessory I'm going to start off with isn't the controller like I had mentioned. I do have one on my list I'm going to bring up, but the Switch 2 is pretty new. We got a lot of people, in our lives that are rocking the first Switch, which is great. That's going to be around for a long time. But we're retro fans ourselves, so we no stranger to using, older hardware. But the Nintendo Switch, I gotta recommend the Nitro deck.
Oh, okay.
I can imagine that if you've got kids and you've got multiple Switches around the house and they're playing in the car, you're going on a road trip, it's a really comfortable way to play that in the car or laying in bed or really anywhere that you're at. And they're having really fantastic sales on them right now because of the Switch 2 coming out. So you can snag one for pretty cheap, and it's probably the best upgrade you can make to your Nintendo Switch to make it a little bit more portable for you.
Yeah, I like that because that is not the kind of thing that I would probably seek out and buy, right? But I would absolutely use it.
Yeah.
I think that's a very cool device. I like that. And I think you're right. I think those kind of accessories that like they go a long way. You mentioned controllers, and it's always nice to have an extra. I didn't put it on my list, but things like cases,
Oh yeah.
or there's, if you kind of have an idea, like you like Zelda or somebody, there are a lot of Pokemon cases out there for the Switch. Like you kind of have a rough idea of what this Nintendo fan in your life likes, and it's easy to pick up. So,
and I would say,
I like that.
I feel like a little tip. I don't know if this.
Yep.
You can tell me if this applies to you, but like, so I'm a plain kind of guy. So when it comes to cases, I feel like if you look at somebody and let's say like you see them and they wear a lot of like plain T-shirts or something like that,
sure,
they might want more of a plain case. That might be their style,
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many really nice cases you can get that are on the plain side and kind of value that function, over the feature of what it may look like, I guess you could say,
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I'm not someone who loves the flashy clothing or cases or things like that all the time. I think if you want to do something that's themed after some sort of series or game, you've really got to nail it. Like I have this 3DS case, this Zelda one, that is like a brown like leather, it's got the insignia, all that stuff. Like that's really cool. I don't want one that just got Link's face plastered on it. Like that's crazy.
Or like the Hylian crest, just like like
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that.
So okay. I'm gonna give you one that this was the first thing I thought of when I started putting ideas down.
Okay.
And that is, so Hot Topic, stay with me, has a collection right now of Pikmin apparel.
What?
And it's pretty cool.
Okay.
They've got, sweats, they a couple sweatshirt options, some t-shirt options with different Pikmin and doing different things. They have one that the Pikmin are taking the pocket away from the t-shirt. But then they have some more off the wall things like we just kind of spoke on, where they have like a hat, a little, cold weather hat that looks like a red Pikmin head.
Yeah.
But they have a bunch of Pikmin stuff right now at Hot Topic. And I want to make sure people know about that.
Yeah.
Because Pikmin doesn't get a ton of merchandise.
No, it doesn't.
So, I have a few other apparel things. I don't know if maybe we want to try to group things together like that.
You could.
Okay. Do you have any apparel?
I do have some apparel type things.
Okay. So let's maybe knock the apparel out if that works.
Yeah, that works for me. I noticed not terribly long ago, which is really embarrassing for me, but I noticed that just how cool of Nintendo apparel they have on their actual site, or that you could get.
Yes. I listed that too.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
I did, because I don't think people think about that.
No, they don't. And that's exactly why I want to bring it up, because sure, you can go to Target or you can go to Kohl's. It's crazy to say, but Kohl's and Target sometimes have some pretty cool grabs. You know what I mean? You can find,
they do. Yeah, graphic tees and things like that.
Yeah, you can find some cool shirts. But the Nintendo store, you can get official Nintendo merchandise, and they often do really cool different graphic designs for, maybe what's trending right now. And sometimes a little bit more niche stuff too, which is really cool. And then you can find sometimes they'll do water bottles and backpacks and just all kinds of other different stuff. And if you've got a big fan, I think of people like you or I at a younger age, or even now, it's you can go on there and find something that maybe they haven't seen before, and certainly that most people don't have.
Yeah, I have a cool Metroid, NES Metroid hat in there. And then the whole inside lining is like the box art, like printed. It's really cool.
I like that.
But yeah, they have stuff, some more traditional looking stuff. But then like I wanted to find it here. They have from Animal Crossing the Dodo Airlines jacket.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's got all the patches and things, the big logo on the back. Like that's very much for someone who is like an Animal Crossing fan who like knows their stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, if you just want something with a cool Hylian crest on it, or yeah, that's what did I have written down there? They have a fun Metroid hoodie that I was eyeing today when I was looking at it. It's all orange and then just has like the visor. And then a little Majora's Mask T-shirt, which is always a winner. We love Majora's Mask here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad you highlighted that because that's a great resource for stuff like that. The last place I wanted to shout out was Box Lunch.
Ooh.
Have you ever been to one of these?
Oh my god, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So I have this really fun like print button up that is Wind Waker.
Okay.
So it's like a bright teal. I think I've maybe worn it in an early episode here. But it's like a bright teal and it's got Link and the King of Red Lions printed all over it.
Oh man.
And it's very flashy. It's in that category. But it's cool. And they have lots of fun stuff like that. But they also have hats, socks. They have a fun pair of Kirby slippers right now.
Oh my god, Kirby slippers. Some Kirby slippies.
So yeah, so there's some variety there, but yeah, I like a good box lunch trip every now and then.
Yeah, no, I do too. It's always fun too because they revolve their inventory quite a bit. So
they do.
You can always kind of go in there, maybe every month even, and see a bunch of different stuff.
And let's be honest, if they're into Nintendo gifts, they're probably into some other nerdy things that you'll find there.
Oh
right?
yeah, and I love that they like
a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of anime stuff.
They've got like it's all sectioned off really nicely too, so like you don't get super overwhelmed like you might in some other stores. You can be like, oh, Studio Ghibli, here we go. Here's all my stuff.
Yeah. So okay, so what else do you got here?
So similar to, I'll transition here because it's similar to apparel, but I really like these. Amanda and I actually went out the other weekend kind of hunting these down because we're trying to find specific ones that we like. But have you seen it like Target? They have this whole area of like those gigantic plush things.
Yeah.
So they've got these big Pokemon ones and they're really soft. Like they're really nice. Okay. And I mean, if you've got a Pokemon fan in your life, which most people, I feel like statistically you do, So, I mean, those things are $30 and they're pretty big. There's like Psyduck and Gengar, Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. A lot more Pokemon than you might think. I think Cubone. There's a bunch of different ones. And yeah, they're not like those cheap kind of stuffed animal plushies. Like they're extremely soft. And if you've got like a gaming room or an office and you're a little bit of a nerd, like it's kind of a nice little throw pillow to have around and,
definitely
just to lay down with. So, I had that on my list. I thought that was a cool thing to think about, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, no matter what the Pokemon fan, who their favorite might be, you can find a plush of that Pokemon.
Yeah,
if you look hard enough, it's out there. So
yeah, and I mean, even if you can't get their favorite Pokemon, like they're gonna love if you found them one that's kind of like one of the mainline ones. Like, there's really no going wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna sidebar for just a minute to tell you a funny story. So the other day I open up YouTube and the first suggested video was like 20 dark Pokemon theories that fans have. And Kali saw that and she started laughing. It was like, no, you got to play that. And so I'm watching it and it's, some stuff I've heard before, stuff I haven't. But then we of course get to Cubone, who you mentioned.
Yep.
And that broke her heart. She didn't know about Cubone and its history and its mother skull that it wears and all that stuff. So
yikes.
Yeah, so we got through that, but yeah, just a little sidebar for you.
That's I should put Amanda through that. I don't think she knows that either.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of forget, right? Like
you kind of do.
Then I see them and I'm like, oh shoot. I want to stick on the Pokemon train for a minute here. You, I think, are much more engaged in this world right now. But one of the things that I see on shelves and I've seen in the years past are these Pokemon trading card game holiday calendars.
Ooh,
and so this one has, some holographics and some packs, and every day, you open a new one if you want to do that sort of thing. But honestly, if you know you have a collector, I think some of these Elite Trainer boxes, might. Which did you end up getting? By the way, I know last week we talked about it. There you go. So, good luck trying to get one of those out there if you're trying to get one, because Jordan's is obviously under glass for a reason. But
yes, for the audio listeners here, I have the Elite Trainer box, the Phantasmal Flames here.
Yeah, that's a cool looking box.
Oh yeah, dude, I love it. It's got a magnetic top to store it. So if you've got a person in your life that collects, that's actually a cool idea. This was only $30 for this little box.
Yeah, that's great.
And I mean, no, I'm not a scalper in any way, but I do love to play my part in immortalizing things that we love.
Sure.
So this bad boy is going to sit on my shelf for the rest of eternity. But no, I grabbed a couple of those boxes because I wanted one to open, obviously.
Yeah. I don't. They make for good collectibles, but they're great too as a value product if you actually do want to open them and kind of go through them.
Yeah.
I have one for the 151 set, and I see them all the time. So they kind of work either way, regardless of what kind of collector you've got.
Do you have a 151 ETB in a box?
I mean, it's been opened and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it's like, God bless, brother.
Yeah, I know. I know, looking back, because I think I bought 2 total, and I think I kept, 1 and just kind of got the innards out of the other one. But yeah, I know.
But that's super cool, though, a calendar to tell you when those launches are coming out.
No. So this is kind of like an advent calendar. Oh. So it's like every day you're, and on this day it's a holographic card, and on this day it's a booster pack.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've seen things like this in the past. So, I think that could be fun. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with any kind of card if you've got a collector in your life.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's so much fun.
Really happy to see it.
The next place I took my list to was a controller. So I went with the 8-bit DOE wireless controller.
Okay.
Because it's extremely versatile. So like, whether you're on the Switch 1, Switch 2, really anything, that controller is going to work for you. It's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different variations of it too. So if you've got somebody in your life that is big with the PCs, but they also like to kind of flex over to their consoles every so often, the ones that connect by 2.4 connector, I mean, those things are so easy to use, and you don't have to worry about the Bluetooth signals or anything.
Sure.
It makes it super easy to pair them. So, and I mean, 8-bit DOE, I think today just announced their new N64 gray variation, the nostalgic one.
With the green and blue A and B, and
immediately put in order for 2. I need 2 of those things.
Yeah.
So that's extremely cool. So when you're looking at, N64, the classics on your Switch 2, you can have a nice little more modernized N64 controller. Or just like I was kind of starting off with, just the standard, that out of the box controller. 8-bit DOE's really got everything for anybody. So those are really high quality controllers for a really, really reasonable price. So
yeah, and I think you highlighted kind of the cross compatibility. That's nice if you want to connect it to a PC or your phone or whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
it'll do that. So that's cool.
And I mean, if you're wondering where to find them, you don't have to always get them online. If you're lucky enough to be near a micro center, they'll carry a ton of them, but also Best Buy carries them. You'd be surprised where you can find these controllers at.
Yeah, they're never too far away.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I feel like there's a black and there's a white, and I feel like there's maybe some other colorways as well, right?
Yeah. A couple of them have different, blue and red and pink even. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm going to take us to kind of a different place here. We've mentioned before the Zelda manga collections out there.
Yeah.
But they actually sell a box set that is a little treasure chest, and it has the Ocarina of Time, the Oracle ones, the Majora's Mask, Link to the Past, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, and Four Swords. Some of those are bundled together, some are not. But So that's a thing that's pretty affordable. You can find that online, and I think maybe I saw it through the Crunchyroll website.
Okay.
When I was looking at it, but that's a cool way to get those to somebody. But I have some other books as well. Some Nintendo themed books. So this just came out, but it's the Metroid Prime 1-3 visual retrospective.
Oh.
So it's an art book, and it kind of goes through the development. And there's a lot of cool tidbits that have come out in the past few weeks because of this book. So that's a cool one. If you're looking for something that's more about the industry, Console Wars by Blake J. Harris has been around forever, and it's about that kind of Nintendo Sega struggle in the 90s. Very entertaining. There's Ask Iwata by Hobonichi, which I have, and I think you do too.
I do,
right?
and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great little and then the last one I have here is Disrupting the Game by Reggie Fils-Aimé, the Reginator. About his career in general, but a lot of it obviously focuses on his time at Nintendo. So that's a fun one.
All right.
Okay.
So your last answer is very similar to one of mine. So I think this is a perfect segue. Okay. Art books. Art books are huge. And if you go to any like Barnes and Noble, you can go to that, that gaming section. You can find it. And there's so many more than you've ever thought to, if you go there to look. Yeah. So like you'll go there and you'll find like the Zelda encyclopedia, the art, I forgot what it's called, the art and something. I have all those books.
Yeah, there's the Hyrule Historia, but then there's an art one, and there's one that's all items, and
yeah. So I mean, Amanda and I personally like to have a lot of those like coffee table books.
Yep.
And we'll do that for movies we like, and even if it's like DC Comics, whatever it is.
Yep.
But I mean, you'll find a lot of the time, especially those Zelda books nowadays, or some of the other Nintendo ones, they're typically on sale when there's some kind of sale going on. Because like the heyday for those is kind of, I'm not saying it's over, but like they just always have something happening. There's no like super new ones, you know what I mean? So you'll typically find them for like $20-$30, and I think that's a great place to go for people. I feel like when you talk about the folks who like video games a lot, typically the art is something we're very into, and having something to look at and we can enjoy it, especially those retro gamers where we used to pull apart those manuals and kind of see like what was going on in there. It like touches this weird neglected part of your brain that just makes you happy.
Yeah, I don't have too many Nintendo ones specifically. I have like the Hyrule Historia, but I do have a couple. Like I have a Blizzard one, I have a bunch of World of Warcraft ones, Spider-Man PS4, that kind of stuff. Like they're very cool. And I know I've seen a Mario Odyssey one out there. They're very cool. And every once in a while I've seen ones that are they like collect box art from, there's one that's like NES, and there's one that's like SNES. So you might run into that too, which is cool.
I love the NES one.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Yeah, if you're having trouble finding that, go look for the anime and the Dungeons and Dragons books at your Barnes and Noble, and you will find them. Not anime, manga. My mistake. Okay. So the rest of the stuff I have is all very, very collectible leaning.
Same, actually, it's so
very
perfect
degrees. So I'm gonna start with maybe gifts for someone you don't like very much, or just don't know very well, right? Like, so the smaller stuff, because some of the stuff we're talking about is maybe getting a little pricey. So, if you walk into a GameStop, or even your Target will have this, your Walmart, whatever, but you'll often find these heat change mugs. Have you seen these?
Yes, I have.
They have a Mario one, they have a Game Boy one, that just kind of change with the heat, and that's fun. But I also found on Amazon this, while I was doing some research for this, a wart pipe. It's like a plant holder or a pencil holder, whatever you want to do. You can put either one in it, but it's just a little wart pipe, and that's all it is.
It's funny that you mention that, because people at work have gotten me these heat changing mugs quite a bit, and now I'm like, do they not like me or do they not know me?
Well, that's kind of the level I guess I'm talking about, is like a coworker kind of, that's kind of not necessarily they don't like you, but when you don't want when you don't want an $80 gift, that's maybe a good place to start.
That's a great idea. I think GameStop's a really cool place where you can find a lot of those like little knickknacks, you know. I mean, I enjoy them as much as anybody else. And I mean, you can get something as big as the Master Sword thing from Zelda, if it's something you are really close to and you're looking for something cool for a Zelda fan. I'm seeing those getting restocked everywhere. But I mean, to something as small as like the figurines and stuff that they sell on the shelves, like for Pokemon, they have those vinyl figurines. I think they're usually $20, maybe $15 on Black. I think last year, actually, I meant to snag the starters and they were all on sale for $10 each.
Nice.
And those things are pretty big. I think they're like a foot tall.
Wow. Okay.
You know, they're pretty large. So I mean, if you know somebody who's looking for some, you know, shelf candy, that's a great place to start looking for things that they can occupy the space with.
Yeah. So in that same vein, I have one that is about to come out. It will be out, you know, this coming week. And that is a Link Tears of the Kingdom statue from First Floor Figures that I saw on GameStop's website. And it's cool. He's doing the whole the thing, you know, with the whatever that's called. I forget, but you know what I'm talking about. But it's a cool little statue, and it looks to be, you know, of nice quality, and it's a cool pose. But yeah, I mean, that stuff goes a long way, and I think you said it best with like the GameStop stuff. Like, we're obviously very Nintendo focused right now, but GameStop's a great place if, you know, they might have interest beyond that. So if, you know, a Stardew Valley or something that has merch that, you know, isn't going to come up when you search Nintendo gifts necessarily. So yeah, there's a lot of good variety there.
Yeah.
I know we've talked a little bit about them over the weeks we've been doing this, but I listed blind boxes here.
Oh, okay.
Because you see, most commonly, I think Pokemon and Kirby. If you have any sort of store, like Asian import store, they usually have these, and there's one that we go to that has a good variety of particularly Pokemon stuff. But like, even if you have like a Miniso in your mall, they might have some Pokemon things and maybe Kirby there too. But ones that I wanted to highlight, and I've shown them on the podcast before, are these Pikmin ones that I found at a local game shop here. And they're cool. They're all just individual little scenes. I'll put some on screen, but yeah, they're very cool, and, you know, again, not too pricey, not too big. They don't take up a ton of space. So,
and I mean, I don't know, I just can't really stress enough, like, when it comes to gifting and your person is somebody who's very much into this stuff, like books, like any kind of like physical media is always very cool for people. You know, like, you really can't go wrong with like a good book or a cool little figurine. Like, I feel like sometimes it's kind of intimidating because you kind of assume the person you're shopping for maybe isn't into that kind of stuff. But like, if they are, typically they are. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's cool seeing the thing you like in other ways you're not used to.
Yeah.
So yes, I play these games all the time, but yeah, it's cool to see all the stuff on the shelf, or to read about it in a book and kind of get some insight that you just wouldn't otherwise have.
Yeah, and I mean, Nintendo themselves are expanding into a lot of different spaces. We see a lot of different Lego sets. Obviously, Legos are definitely on the pricey side, but I mean, you can find things like the Piranha Plant for $60. You know, so they have plenty of sets that are under $100. If you're trying to spend.
And the Game Boy.
The Game Boy, it's perfect. Yeah, the Game Boy, the Piranha Plant, like things like that. That's so much fun. You're giving them kind of an activity to do with the subject matter of something they really love. So, I mean, there's tons of options.
Yeah, I love that. Have you been gifted any like nerdy Hallmark ornaments over the years?
Oh, yeah, we collect them.
Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I have a handful. I have some Aladdin ones, which I know you're a fan of Disney's Aladdin as well. But I have some Nintendo ones. I have a Super Nintendo one, and I was looking at this year's collection. There are a couple of Mario Kart themed ones. There are, just kind of your general Nintendo characters, Bowser, Mario, Luigi. But the one that really caught my eye was they have one that it's from the original Legend of Zelda, and it's that Link artwork right? And they have that as an ornament this year. I thought that was
Yes.
pretty cool.
So we got, maybe that's a newer version. That was one of my nabs a couple of years back, where it's like the
Oh, okay.
original Link and he's kind of kneeling over a stone.
Yeah.
That
And
is
it could be old. I guess I don't know. I assumed it was new.
the ornament space is pretty heavy for Amanda and I, and honestly, early on, that was her very lovely way of making me feel represented in the house. When we moved
Yeah.
in together, was, giving my interests a space on our Christmas tree. So she actually went out and took it upon herself to get a bunch of Hallmark Nintendo ornaments for me the first year we were together. It was very, very nice. They have like the arcade cabinet, Donkey Kong, the Legend of Zelda ones. We've got like a couple of the Mario Kart ones. They're really cool, and honestly, Hallmark does such a fantastic job with those too, with like the sound
And
that
they go so deep now.
They do.
Like there's an Xbox 360 one. There's like we're really getting in there, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. I mean, to have your Christmas tree kind of dressed up in those different with those different things on it, it's cool. It's not just your classic
Definitely.
orb,
Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay. Well, so I have one here that's not exactly just one item, but it's kind of more of a general vibe that I think might intimidate someone looking for something. And that is just this idea of going to a retro game store, knowing that the person you want to get something for likes this stuff.
Okay.
But where do you start? Because again, you don't necessarily want to go games. And I have things that you could find here, or at least could ask about. Things like amiibos, things like statues that we've already kind of talked about. I know there's one around here that has a cool Link statue right now that I want to go see in person. Plushes are another one that's very common. There's one that I go to that has so many different Mario bad guys and every color of Pikmin and different Pokemon, like you mentioned. And so that's a good place for that. Something I've been on the hunt for recently are Nintendo Powers and Strategy guys. You have a couple there pictured. If you know that someone is into that, that's a great visual representation of that.
Ooh.
And then maybe a little, this one's a little tougher to nail down, but collector's editions.
Oh, man.
I found my Metroid Dread collector's edition at one of these stores, and you run into them every once in a while. The Tears of the Kingdom has a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know the idea of going into one of those if you are not a gamer and not in this world is probably a little intimidating, but they will help you, even if they seem like they won't. They will.
They will. A lot of them are just passionately shy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what else I just thought of when we're talking magazines? I'm in like a very deep hole with those Time magazines, the Pokemon ones now.
Yeah.
And I did not realize how many covers exist for those. It's like $12, that magazine. I think I've got like 6 of them, like, like I'm at this point, I'm going for gold on these things, and I want to end up framing them. But like one day, I mean, they're all pristine too. I'm keeping them like really packed away right now. I want to put them in frames eventually, or even slabs. But I want to have those. I'm going to immortalize them, because maybe we'll be lucky enough that Pokemon it'll always have that spotlight. But if it doesn't, I'd like to remember when it did, and that's a great way to do that.
Yeah, I am the king of going to a place like this and seeing stuff like that and going, wow, that's so cool, and then putting it back.
Yeah,
like
it's
I very rarely will pick that up for myself. I just did this with a bunch of Nintendo Powers this past weekend.
Nice.
And there were some cool Zelda ones, and I was like, I probably don't need this, but so
oh man,
definitely something to consider. Do you have any more? Any other things you want to share with the audience here?
Outside of the easy grabs, if you're striking out, you're not sure if the guy or gal you're shopping for is really into, collectibles or even physical media. You're like, I don't really know where they put them. A gift card never hurts. We all love them.
Of course.
It's always great to get some kind of gift card to spend on a game. You'd be surprised how often we've got a lot of games coming out. I'm never at a shortage for a gift card to help me get the next one I'm thinking of. So like, you might think to yourself, well, there's not a lot of heart and soul going into this. It's really helpful, especially that time of year when you're not sure what you want to get, like
Yeah.
it'll open up that person's options. And I think personally, I love that. I think it's nice.
Yeah, and you definitely have options with it, right? You can do a Nintendo eShop card, but you could also do a Best Buy or a Target or a GameStop, whatever.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so hopefully this has been kind of enlightening. I'm gonna make sure to have visuals of this stuff in the video version. So maybe if you're listening and you're like, I kind of know what they're talking about, but I'm not sure what it looks like, pop into the YouTube version, take a look. It's right there. If you're on Spotify, just hit that switch to video button. It's right there. And you'll be able to see it. But this has been Podcasting with Power, your holiday gift guide, right ahead of Black Friday and Thanksgiving and the holiday season here in the States. I'm Zachary Davis, that's Jordan Carlson, and we're going to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.